Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Marilyn Gale. I'm going to bring part 2 of Seeking Sister Wife for the Snowdens. I left off where Dimitri went to Seattle to visit JoJo, which is the mother of Vanessa. So I'm picking up there. Okay, now Dimitri is in Seattle. Vanessa thinks that he's on a business trip, so she doesn't know anything about him going there. This is the first time that Dimitri has met JoJo face to face. Now they FaceTime and they text previously, but he didn't mention he asked Ashley's mom 9 years ago. So that asked the question. He did go to Ashley's mom 9 years ago to, I guess, get a blessing from her. But that was 9 years ago, and it looks like Ashley's mom has not come to grips with it still. And that's why I was wondering if he did the same thing for Ashley's mom, because Ashley's mom still is not feeling it. So as a parent, I can see that, your child might be married to someone, and you may not ever accept that fact that that things in the marriage you don't agree with, but you have to accept the fact that these are adults now and they make their own decisions, good, bad, or otherwise. Now, Dimitri brings Mom JoJo some beautiful, beautiful orchids. And when she opens the door to greet him, he hands her these orchids, and she's looking at Dimitri and said, "Oh, you are even better looking in person." Now, you know why she have to say that? Because Dimitri got the big head, literally. No, I'm just kidding, guys. No shade. He's got the big head, I think, anyway. And to me, I get a sense of, entitlement as far as the way, I'm Mr. Cool Papa, and I can handle 2 women, and I think there's a lot of ego involved in Dimitri wanting 2 wives, and that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. The conclusion I'm coming to. So they're making small talk, how was your drive to Seattle? And then he's saying, how's your backyard coming, because he knew that she wanted to do some things to her backyard. So she mentions how he said yard, like, New England type of accent. So he just basically says that every now and then, people will ask him about that, and he doesn't even realize he's doing that. Then JoJo mentions the last season where he sleeps with the other lady when they went. Remember, he went to the restaurant and they tried to, trick the production crew and meet up later, and they had a little rendezvous. Well, she mentions that to Dimitri, and that kind of, he nervously laughs because he wasn't prepared to talk about that with JoJo. He was not prepared for any explanation. I guess he didn't have anything prepared for a statement to give her and how he was going to respond to that. It just took him for a loop with that one. So, he had to admit, and he took all responsibility for that situation. I mean, what else could he do? It was all on TV, so he couldn't deny it. So he further explains to JoJo his feelings now, and that he's a better person, and he learned from that. And, JoJo appears to accept his explanation of those events and how he's done with that behavior and he's improved as a man. And so, Dimitri is a smooth operator. Sade's song. Anyway, he's a slick one. He's a sly one. So Dimitri asked JoJo for her blessings for Vanessa's hand. Now JoJo kind of pauses, and tells him, give her a moment. She says a stretch for her brain right now. Give her a moment. And, says that, and then she asked him like already, because they have not been dating but about 6 months at this point. So Dimitri brings up to JoJo, like, cause she's kind of wondering, how you guys gonna deal with this, whatever, with people that are not, into the polygamy thing, whatever. So Dimitri brings to her, well, JoJo, you was married to a black guy, and the things that you went through, especially back in the day when you was married to him, and mentions to her, well, you didn't care. You loved him, so you did it. So JoJo quickly responds to him and said, I did care. What people would think about it and what things I would have to go through because I married a black man. I did care. So Dimitri tells her of his experiences, even with Ashley's, where, some people are saying, love is love and they're glad for you and happy for you. And then some people were telling her, man, you crazy. So that conversation went home. So JoJo asked Dimitri, had he proposed to Vanessa yet? So, he says, not yet. And JoJo says, well, if Vanessa says yes, then I say yes. So now, guys, if that was my daughter, I'm going to be honest with you. I would tell him to take his little raggedy behind and get out of my house. See, I can be liberal with other people and their views and their lifestyles. I could be liberal and I could say, they do what they do. It is what it is. However, with my family and my up and coming grandbabies that will soon be married, I suppose, because marriage is not for anybody and they haven't voiced anything. They seem to be living their life, and I don't think marriage is in their vocabulary yet. But when it comes to my family, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Don't you bring your reggae looking, not reggae. Forgive me, guys. I love reggae. But your dreadlocks in your hood. Don't you bring no, and I like dreadlocks too. I want some. But anyway, don't you bring your dreadlock wearing behind up in my house talking about marrying my daughter or granddaughter and you got a wife at home, whether it's legal or not, common law. But, don't do that. You gotta get out of here with that mess. So, like I said, I can be legal. I can be liberal with other people, but certain things for my family, not going down that way. So in confessional, JoJo says that, after talking to Dimitri, he has calmed her fears to a point. She's still not 100%, but she's calmer than she was, like I said. Dimitri is a smooth operator. Just one more thing, getting back to, as far as, how I would deal with it if that sort of thing came up in my family. Like I said, if they were adults, you just have to consider, okay, they're adults. What can I do? But it would take me years to come around, if ever. So maybe that's where Ashley's mother, where she's coming from. Okay, she just said, okay, they're going to do what they do, and they have been. I don't like it, though. And I may not ever come around, but, carry on. Okay, so he gets home, and Ashley gets a babysitter, and her and Dimitri go to plan the proposal, and they have the little baby, and they're walking the baby in a park-like setting. So Dimitri just talks to Ashley, and says he wants to make this very special for Vanessa. So he decides to write a song to kind of prepare the moment for the proposal. So he goes to some entertainer friends of his and give them some idea of what he wants. So in the confessional, Dimitri reminds everyone that Vanessa has never married before, and that's why he wants to make this proposal very special for her. So they're off to the beach. Ashley, the baby, because, Ashley is still breastfeeding, so they bring the baby, Vanessa and Dimitri. So the plan is Dimitri will compose at the beach and his two musician friends will play the song that they put together and that was written for this occasion. Okay, so this part kind of cracked me up. They're on the beach and they're enjoying the sun and they put the umbrella out, and Dimitri and Ashley is like under the part of the umbrella that there's shade. And the positioning of everyone is important because you got to remember they want to surprise Vanessa. So Vanessa is facing them, but that means, with her back towards the way that the musician guys are going to come, but that means Vanessa is in the sun and she's hot. And she's out there baking like a clam. So Dimitri is asking Vanessa, well, how do you feel about things? Do you feel the family is yours? And she's saying to both Ashley and Dimitri that she's getting the hang of it, even with the kids, she's getting the hang of it. And Dimitri noticed his musician friends are coming his way. And he motions for them to come on. Now, when he's motioning them, he's talking to Vanessa at the same time, and he's using his gestures, motioning the musicians to come, but he's trying to use those same gestures in the conversation with Vanessa. So she's not even privy to, him telling the musicians to come. So, like I said, she's out in the sun and she's baking. And so she asked Vanessa if they could switch positions because it's hot. So Ashley tells her, hold on for a second, and the guys are getting closer and closer, and she tells, hold on for a little while. She started talking about something, change the subject, because Vanessa's back has to stay to the guys for the surprise to work. And, I'm wondering what Vanessa said. I done told this heifer I'm hot and let's take turns, and she got the nerve to tell me to hold on. And then she started talking about, I'm just wondering what was in Vanessa's mind. Like, you silly heifer, I'm hot. You were supposed to say, yes, sis, let's do this. I'm just wondering what was all in Vanessa's head. So, okay, the guys get closer and closer, and then they start to play. And she hears the music, and she stops a little bit. They're getting closer. So they get close enough, and they stop right behind her. So, anyone would kind of turn around and see what was going on. So she notices that they're playing and she's laughing because she's figuring, okay, what's up with all of this? So Dimitri gets up and he extends his hand to, and she puts her hand in his and he lifts her up and she's giggling, and Dimitri proposes while the music is playing. And Ashley is smiling. Well, girl, I am so confused again. Now, you sitting there smiling. Sorry, Ashley, I like you, but I'm going to call you on some things when I'm confused. I'm sorry. Your man is proposing to another woman. And you going to hear them from now on when he's not in your bed. He's going to be in her bed, knocking the boots. Now, I didn't want to get graphic, and I know knocking the boots is old, but I want to use it because it's a very nice way to say without using other words, not knocking the boots and get intimate and all that. I think that's a good term for it, knocking the boots. So you want to hear all that, and you fine with that? Okay, like I said, I can be liberal with other people. That's fine for you. If you like it, I love it, Ashley. But heck to the no. I couldn't do that. So, okay. The guys have this long, like ring-like box. Not ring, but the box that come from the jeweler with the bracelet in it. So instead of a ring, he has a bracelet for her right ankle. So he puts the anklet on Vanessa's right ankle. So when they get married, he will switch the anklet from the right ankle to the left ankle. Okay, so then, they just all into the mood, and she's laughing and they're hugging, and, and they give each other a kiss, and Ashley is just sitting there so, like she's so happy this moment has come. Oh, right on for you, Ashley. Like I said, if you like it, I love it. And so Ashley puts that little red dot that she have on her forehead, she put it on Vanessa, and she explained it. The red dot. It's some kind of spiritual meaning, what have you. So she's got the red dot, and her daughter has the red dot. So she puts it on Vanessa. And I forget the word that they use for the red dot. I don't know. I took notes and I deleted the episode, so I can't go back, but I thought they called it Bindi, so I'm not sure. Don't call me on that one, guys. I'm not sure. Okay, so they're all celebrating, the musicians are staying, they're all celebrating, and they're having a toast with sparkling water. So the thing that gets me is now Vanessa can be in the shade. She's in the shade now, so she's happy. So that's what's happened this week. Now, they do give a preview of next week's episode. All three of the families are coming out for the wedding. So I guess they fast forward everything. And I don't think going to have anything extravagant, just a celebration. So all three of the family, Dimitri's mother and sisters and other people are coming. Vanessa's mother, and I thought I saw her sister in the preview. I'm not sure if the one from Australia is coming. I didn't see her in the preview, but we'll see. And then Ashley's mom and relatives that she has, they're all going to be there. So next week is going to be a trip. Ooh, child, I can't wait. I'm not going to miss it. And I will bring that information to you, do a recap, but it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be like, what his name? Don Camille, it's going to be a stone gas, honey. So I'm going to leave you there. Thank you for joining me. If you have not subscribed, do so now. Hit that notification bell, because you surely don't want to miss next week, because it's going to be something. I'm going to leave you now. Everyone have a good evening, and thank you again for and one more thing. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for your heartfelt comments on some very difficult subjects we talk about, like the lady who died, the 600, she was over 700 pounds. She passed away, and it was just very heartbreaking, that episode. And I don't do a recap. I just gave the information and, and just talked a little bit about some things. And so many people just, it touched our lives. So you don't want to miss anything, any of the videos. I just go around. I talk about subjects that involve myself, my personal life, a little bit of politics, not a whole lot of politics, because, this is not a climate for good videos, good climate, I should say, when it comes to politics, but I won't go into that right now. And entertainers and just a little bit of a lot of things that I enjoy. And that's why the channel is called Being Marilyn Gill. It's all from my perspective. And I do want to sometimes throw things out there to leave it for discussion. Some things I will say will try to induce more conversation. And if you want to comment, please feel free to, respectfully, keyword comment, respectfully. So anyway, thank you for joining me, and everyone have a good night.